Hey everyone, I am Elizabeth Sherman from Total Health by Elizabeth, and what I am is I'm a health coach. I help folks ease into better life change, or better health rather, through small gradual changes in folks' health. Let me change this a little bit so you're seeing more of my head. So anyway, I wrote a blog post a few weeks ago about the 5 ways that I make it easier on myself to work out in the morning. And, people don't like to read, so I figured that I would talk about it. But the link to the blog post, if you want to read it, is in the header of this video. Anyway, so getting up in the morning to work out is actually, well, first of all, let's talk about when is the best time to work out. And, honestly, the best time for you to work out is whenever it is easiest for you to fit it into your schedule. So if that means lunchtime, great, do it at lunchtime. If you have to do it after the kids are in bed, that's fantastic. Do it at that point. So the most important thing here is that you want to work out whenever it's most convenient for you. Now, many people find that doing it first thing in the morning is the most convenient time because nothing really gets in the way. I know that for years I actually worked out after my workday, and what would happen is things would come up. People would want to have drinks, or my husband would want to go out to dinner, or we'd want to schedule a meeting with a financial advisor or a contractor to do work on our home. And everything just seemed to keep getting in the way of those after work workouts. And, by the time that you finish work and then go to the gym and do your workout and then get home and fix dinner, sometimes it was close to like 8 o'clock at night. So, It really actually helped me a lot when I pushed everything earlier in the day. Granted, I don't love getting up at 5:30 in the morning to work out. And when I lived in the States, I would actually wake up at 4:30 so that I could get to the gym by 5, so that I could go see my clients by 6:30. So that really was not awesome, but I got it done. And what was great about that is that I could start my day then and know that my workout was completely done, and I didn't have to think about it later on in the day. Because I don't know about you, but the more something is on my mind that I'm not looking forward to, the more I'm dreading it, the more I don't want to do it, and it becomes a chore. So by doing it first thing in the morning, I haven't really thought about it. I'm just doing it. And then by the time it's over, I'm then awake enough to start thinking about, did I want to do that or not? And by that time, it's done. Okay? So these are the reasons why working out in the morning works really good for me. And now that I've actually been doing it for so many years, I can't even think about exercising later in the day. Like, the thought of doing it at 10 or 12 o'clock is just not appealing to me. And I just don't even seem to have the energy to do it. So, my 5 top tips for working out and making it easier on myself to work out in the morning. 1 is get organized, lay it all out in the morning or in the evening. So the night before I work out, I lay my clothes out, I get my shoes together, I get everything together that I need in order to have a smooth morning. So like getting your coffee ready, putting your coffee cup on the counter, anything that you need to do, the less thinking that you need to do in the morning, the more that's going to help you and set you up for success. So that's the first thing, is whatever you need in the morning to feel successful, lay that out in the morning. Number 2, count backwards. So what's your first commitment in the morning? So let's say that you have a 9 o'clock appointment. So or you need to be at work by 9 o'clock. So then start figuring out, working backwards, what things you need to do in order to get to work on time. So how long does it take to get to work? How much time do you need to eat? How much time do you need to shower and get ready? How much time do you need to commute from the gym home, or if that's even a possibility? How much time are you budgeting to exercising? And then also, how much time do you need to wake up before you work out? I know that I can't just get up and go straight out the door. I actually need a little bit of time to, just wake up and orient myself. So that's usually about a half an hour for me. So count backwards, figure out all of those times, add them up, and then that's your wake time. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do. So tip number 3, go to bed early. So now that you have your wake time, now we want to count back, 8 hours, 7.5 hours, however many hours of sleep that you need, and go to bed at that time. You may even want to set an alarm on your phone for like 15 minutes before that to let you know that it's time to get ready to go to bed. I go to bed at 9 o'clock because I get up so early. And I feel like an old person, and it's definitely going to cut down on your social life, but you don't have to do that every single night. However, that does bring me into the next tip, which is having a consistent wake time. So, you really want to be as consistent as possible in your wake times. So you don't want to have huge fluctuations in what time you wake up in the morning. So on those days that you do exercise in the morning, if you're getting up at 4:30 in the morning, and then on other days when you get to sleep in, you're sleeping in until 7:30, that's a huge gap. That's a 2.5 hour gap. So, it's going to make getting up at 4:30 that much more difficult on those days that you have to. So what can you do to make that a little bit more consistent throughout the week? And what's going to happen then is that your body is naturally going to wake up at that time or close to it during the week and maybe even on the weekends. And I know that totally sucks. But at least you're getting consistent sleep at that point. So like for instance, I wake up at about 5:30 or 6 every day of the week. And on the weekends, sometimes I can sleep in until 7 or so, which is a complete luxury, but I usually don't. And you know what? I've just accepted it. Sometimes I can take a nap during the day, but I know that not everyone has that luxury. So, just try to make it a little bit more consistent so that those days that you are exercising and getting up to work out, that you can do that. Now, what do you do on the days that you don't have to get up that early? I love getting up early and starting work. I feel like I get really productive and really creative in those early morning hours before anyone else is awake. So that's an idea. Some people like to meditate. You could also just, walk or do something else. So anyway, try to make your wake times consistent. And then the other thing is I have a client, and we were talking about her inability to get up in the morning and work out. She was like, I'm awake, but I'm just not working out. I'm like, well, what does your day look like? What are we talking about here? And so she was saying that, she would just make herself a cup of coffee and, surf the internet. And she was just, going about her day. And sure enough, like, the time that she would have to work out would just pass. And so we set an activating event, and that was that she couldn't have a second cup of coffee. When she got up in the morning, she put her workout clothes on, she went and she had her coffee in the morning, and she could not have her second cup of coffee until she worked out. And that actually worked out really, really well. In fact, I actually had that same kind of problem too, that once I got into that second cup of coffee, that it just got so much more difficult to drag myself up off the couch and out the door to go work out. So either set an alarm on your phone to say, hey, it's time to leave, or, say, okay, I can have 1 cup of coffee, 1 glass of juice, 1 glass of water, whatever it is that you have in the morning. And then after that, I have to get going. So those are the 5 tips that I have that make it easier for me to exercise in the morning. The last bonus tip that I have for you is it makes it a lot easier if your workouts are enjoyable and if they're short. So try to find something that you actually enjoy doing. If you don't enjoy exercising, then you're not going to do it. And there are tons of different options these days. There's kickboxing, there's running, there's group exercise, there's classes with weights, there's kettlebells, there's all sorts of different things that you can do that are enjoyable. Find something and, have a community involved. The other thing is that, right now it's been really hot, and I just need to keep my workouts really short and intense, so that therefore when I'm getting up off the couch, I know that there's something short that I need to do. And as long as I can get through that, I can get through my workout. Because, half the battle is actually just getting out and moving. So those are my tips for you today. Again, I am Elizabeth Sherman, Total Health by Elizabeth. I'm a health coach, and what I do is I help folks lean into healthier habits. I will see you tomorrow. Have an awesome day.